Imagine an airline standing on the edge of collapse, a carrier drowning in debt, yet holding one of the most strategic positions in global aviation. That airline was Air Europa. For years, Europe's largest airline groups circled like predators, each convinced they could claim the prize. One by one, they failed. Deals collapsed. Regulators blocked mergers. Negotiations turned hostile. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, Turkish Airlines stepped in with a smaller bid, with less control, and they won. Why did their offer succeed where everyone else stumbled? How did they navigate the strict European Union ownership rules designed specifically to keep foreign carriers out? And did Turkish Airlines just show the world how non-EU airlines can quietly take over Europe from inside the walls? To understand this play, you need to understand the asset. Air Europa wasn't simply another airline. It was a gateway, the bridge between Europe and Latin America. Its home base, Madrid Barajas. Not just Spain's capital airport, but the launchpad to an entire continent. For decades, Air Europa built a Latin America network few could replicate. 22 destinations, shaped by historical ties and market expertise. Whoever controlled Madrid's long-haul corridors gained instant access to one of the most valuable aviation flows on Earth. But there was a paradox. This golden network sat atop a financial time bomb. COVID nearly killed Air Europa. To survive, the Spanish government issued a $475 million lifeline. It worked, but left the airline buried in debt, desperate for capital, and running out of time. So began one of the fiercest pursuit battles in European aviation history. The graveyard of failed buyers. The first to move was IAG, parent company of British Airways and Iberia. Their 2019 plan was simple: buy Air Europa outright for $1 billion, merge Spain's two major airlines, dominate Madrid, dominate the Atlantic. Except Europe's regulators saw it differently. A combined Iberia-Air Europa group would control nearly every major Spanish route. 49 out of 59 overlapping markets, almost a monopoly. Brussels prepared the veto. IAG panicked. They offered to give up more than half of the routes. Still not enough. By August 2024, they walked away. They burned years and $50 million and were left holding only a minority 20% stake. Their master plan collapsed. Next came Lufthansa and Air France-KLM. They saw the same strategic value, they had the capital, but they repeated the same fatal mistake. They wanted control. They demanded a pathway to full ownership, to fully absorb Air Europa into their empires. But they underestimated one thing: the Hidalgo family, proud founders, protective owners. They would not surrender their airline outright. They wanted a partner, not a takeover, and so Europe's titans left empty-handed. Entered Turkish Airlines. While European giants chased control, Turkish Airlines chose something entirely different: influence without ownership, partnership without power. They understood Regulation 1008-2008, the cornerstone of EU aviation law. EU airlines must be majority-owned and controlled by EU nationals, not just financially, effectively controlled. Meaning, a non-EU airline legally cannot run an EU carrier. Most foreign bidders saw this as a barrier. Turkish Airlines saw leverage. Their offer? A minority stake, roughly 25-27%. No demand for operating control. $300 million structured mostly as convertible debt. Cash now, shares later. In other words, financial rescue without takeover threats, strategic partnership without regulatory backlash, security for the Hidalgo family's legacy. Turkish Airlines used EU law as reassurance. They couldn't legally seize control, even if they wanted to. That is what made the deal irresistible. This wasn't a purchase. It was a geostrategic maneuver, and it changed everything. The strategic impact. Turkish Airlines already built one of the greatest global hub systems in the world from Istanbul, connecting Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. But one major region remained weak: Latin America. The Air Europa partnership plugged that gap instantly. Madrid became a Western gateway to pair with Istanbul's Eastern superhub, a dual-hub network, Europe's heart, linking the world's two fastest-growing long-haul markets. Add in cultural soft power, Turkish media booming in Latin America, and the brand synergy becomes even stronger. And there's more. Turkish Airlines plans to lease up to 30 long-haul jets to Air Europa, more wide bodies for Madrid, more connections through Istanbul, more dominance without merger obstacles. Low risk, enormous reward, a strategic coup. Shockwaves. Across the industry, this deal breaks the old rulebook. Air Europa is in Sky Team. Turkish Airlines is a Star Alliance powerhouse. IAG, founder of One World, still owns 20%. 3 rival alliances, all tied to one carrier. For the first time, the global alliance structure looks flexible. Commercial logic is beating alliance loyalty. Network advantage is trumping tradition. Meanwhile, Europe's giants regroup. Lufthansa and Air France-KLM now turn their sights to the next contested jewel. TAP Air Portugal, gateway to Brazil and Portuguese-speaking Africa. The battle for Europe's skies isn't over. It's escalating, the new playbook. And now the question everyone in aviation is asking: did Turkish Airlines just create the model for foreign expansion into Europe? Minority stakes, capital injections, network partnerships, ownership without control, Emirates, Qatar Airways, Singapore Airlines. They've all wanted deeper access to Europe. Now, they have a blueprint. The walls around Europe haven't fallen, they've simply been bypassed. And the skies of Europe may never look the same again.